Good day, everyone. My name is MicheleDClark, and I'm your favorite small town girl with big time dreams who God has definitely shown His grace and His mercy, and He has saved me from some life threatening things. Welcome, everyone, and thank you all so much for this slight delay. I don't know, I was having some technical difficulties, but guess what? We are here. So that just goes to show you do not have to be tech savvy, and even if you have a hiccup in your hookup, you can still get it done. All right, you all. So, welcome if this is your first time to the show to Tuesday Talks with Miss Clark, LMSW, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, that's the name of the whole show. If this is your first time, then definitely welcome. And if you are a repeat supporter, then welcome back. So let's get down to some of our house rules, which is, usually when people say house rules, you think about it being like, oh, things you can't do. No. It's just some things we want to, what do they call it? Housekeeping, maybe? I don't know. The bottom line is this is the rundown of the show. So, first of all, of course, we welcome everybody. So, welcome. I see some eyeballs out there watching. Along with the welcome, if you would like to get a proper shout out, then all you have to do is put your name and where you're from. And in that way, I can give you a proper shout out. Also, so we have a segment that's called, you ready? Rapid Fire AMA. That's where you get a chance to ask Miss Clark anything. So you get a chance to ask me, right? I say Miss Clark, talking about myself in the third person, but that's what the flyer says, right? Ask Miss Clark anything, and that's the name of that segment. So we'll get to that point towards the end of the show. So make sure to have your questions ready. Any question that you have a burning desire because you want to be, you want to live a life of freedom, right? All right, so I see Belinda is in the house. Hey, Belinda, and where are you from? California. Okay, so quick side note, you all. I do not, I might have to start putting my glasses on or maximizing the screen a little bit here, um, because sometimes it's a little difficult to see. But anyways, so welcome, Belinda. So good to see you. I see you, right? I see some other eyeballs out there watching. So please make sure to go ahead and put your name and where you're from. So then that way I can give you a proper shout out. So yes, so we will be doing that. So proper shout outs as well as of course welcome you all. Love the thumbs up. That's what's up. And matter of fact, I love hearts. So because I think love is just like, okay, so love is like everything. So if you want to just put some hearts in the chat, and if they're yellow hearts, I really like those, right? Because I love the color yellow. Now, okay, quick side note, you all. Now, I know some people are like, oh, Michelle, how come you're not wearing yellow? Well, what you may or may not know is that my brand colors are yellow, blue, and white. So sometimes you'll catch me sporting the yellow or the blue and white. So yeah, there we go. All right, so out of the way. But I know sometimes people are like, what? Like when I back around the holiday time, I had worn red, and people were like, "Wait, whoa, what's that? What is that?" So just give y'all a little bit of info out there. So, all righty then. So let's get down to business. I know we started, like I said, a few minutes late. Thank you all so much for bearing with me through those technical difficulties. And so now we are here. So welcome to the show, and welcome back for all you repeat supporters. So here's the deal. If you're watching this via YouTube, please make sure to subscribe and also make sure to click the little bell so then that way you know when we drop new content. So you'll always be in the know. So what is our topic for today? So I want to talk about something. Now I know we talk about manifesting a lot, and we're still going to continue on that vein because in order to be free, we have to have a mindset that manifests our freedom. So I want to come to you all today, and you let me know what your thoughts are about this because I do want this to be a conversation, right? So you may or may not know that I have children, right? So if this is your first time and you have met me from Adam or from Eve, I guess, because it's for women, then you know that I have children. I have two kids. So I put like this. So my daughter, she is, first of all, she's absolutely amazing. Love her to pieces, love her to life. And she was blessed with being able to have dual enrollment in college and also in high school. So she's in high school. And so what had happened was there was a miscommunication, if you will, or lack of a delay in communication. And so my schedule was jam packed. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to swing this to make sure that you have travel arrangements. Well, as God would have it, I have a sister. Now, let me give you guys a little bit of backstory. So back in 2014, my sister moved in about Mayish. We went to an event And she moved up. When I say moved in, I mean moved from, she's from Illinois. We're all from Illinois. I moved up to Michigan to go to University of Michigan, go blue, whoop, whoop, which is where I got my master's degree in social work. So along that vein, she moved up to help me because I was going through a divorce at the time. And I have a special needs son. He's now 18. Praise the Lord, because they said he would never make it out of the hospital alive. And yet he did. And he is 18 now. And so she moved in to help me take care of the kids. Well, lo and behold, I thought that's what she was moving in. She thought that's why she was moving in. Let me tell you what she was really moving in. Are you guys ready? She really was moving in because less than 5 months after she moved in, I had 2 strokes back to back. Now, the first one, I was out and about in the community. I just dropped off one of my sisters in Christ, and we just came from a phenomenal fellowship with some women. And I was dropping her off, and it hit me then. Praise the Lord that I had pulled over to the side. So I was pulled over, about to let her out when it happened. So part 2 happened 2 days later. So October 18th and October 20th. And on October 20th, which happened to be Sweetest Day that year, I was on an international call. I was hosting a call, and I was about to bring the speaker on. So I was welcoming the guests to the call. And lo and behold, I couldn't talk. And I was like, oh no, it is happening again. I couldn't talk. My whole right side, numb, couldn't feel it. Dropped the phone. Battery pops out. I'm trying to collect the phone, my left hand. And then all of a sudden, my leg went out. And it was weird, to say the least. Scary. And I was in and out of consciousness. And the only people that were home at the time was me and my sister. My sister had just left me. She went around the corner. I think she was going upstairs. And I fell. And she came back around. And I remember her scooping me up. So here's the deal. This is the significance, you all. My kids were with my ex, and we had a 5-5-2-2 schedule. So the kids were with him. This happened on a Monday. They would not have known anything happened to me if my sister was not here until that Wednesday, when I didn't receive the kids or go pick up my daughter. Because I had to go pick up my daughter and my son, because his special needs, he had curb-to-curb bus services. So if I didn't come outside to pick up my son from the curb, they'd have been like, where's she at? The importance of that is, praise God that she was there. My sister, my blood sister, was there to help me in my time of need, and literally saved my life. Now, if that touched y'all even just a little bit, show some love and put some hearts in the chat. Put some hearts in the chat, you all. Put some hearts for my sister. And put some hearts for me that I'm still here. Thank goodness, right? Or we wouldn't have Tuesday Talks today. So here's the deal. Back to on a serious note. So I say all that to say this, that there are some people that are in our lives. Thank you so much. I see the hearts starting to come in. There are people in our lives who are placed there strategically, and we have no idea why. We may think they're there for one reason, but they're actually there for a totally different reason. And it's not always clear to us in the beginning. It comes to us sometimes later down the line. So I just want to say that, do you have somebody? Do you have somebody in your life? Do you have somebody in your life who's there for you? I mean, that's like really, really there for you. Hey, what's going on, Ernestine? I see you in the house. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And she is coming in from Michigan. So welcome to the show. So that's just something that we do. We shout out. So shout out. And so, is there somebody in your life that's really like they're there for you, that you can say has your back no matter what? Because those are the types of people that we want in our lives. So let's go back to manifesting. I see some more eyeballs popping on. Welcome to the show. If you would like to have a proper shout out, then please make sure to put your name and where you're from in the chat, and I give you a proper shout out. In order for us to have those people in our lives, in order to manifest those people in our lives, We have to be that type of person. I used to have on my refrigerator, I had a dry erase board, and I put little sayings on there. And one thing I put on there, because I had read this a while ago, and I don't remember who the author was, but it said, in order to have a friend, you must first be a friend. In order to have a friend, you must first be a friend. I repeat that because somebody might want to write that down. It is so true. I took that to heart because I always like to treat people. Yes, I treat people how I want to be treated, but I treat people better than how I want to be treated. I treat people how they want to be treated, as long as how they want to be treated is in kind, is in a positive way. Because there are some people who don't really particularly want to be treated well, and not because of a desire or lack thereof, if you will, but sometimes it's conditioning, and they sabotage the good. They sabotage the good, and they settle and sit in the bad for too long. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. So after being able, because when I say ask me how I know, it's personal, y'all. So after being able to get past a lot of the traumas, get through, not really past, get through the traumas that I've been through, and I've been through a lot, y'all. I've been through a lot of traumas, but here's the beauty of it. Because of the things that I've been through, now I'm able to be that beacon of light. I am the light. I'm the beacon of light for other women, to help them to break stereotypes, right? Break the chains of stereotypes and shatter glass ceilings, and be able to triumph over those tragedies and traumas that they've been through. That's what I'm able to do now because of that. And so one of the things that I've done is, and you all will get a chance to, I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the show. I'm going to hold off real quick. We're about at the midpoint, but I want to hold off. But I just want to say, if you want something like that, then hold on. We're going to talk a little bit about that towards the end of the show. If you have any questions or comments, I love to see them in the chat, and then we could put them up there on the screen as well. But to be able to have somebody like that in your life, to be able to have people who surround you and are really there for you, positive people, we have to first be that. Be that thing that we want to have. Be that type of person that we want, the persons that we want to have in our life. We have to start there first. Because the law of attraction says, right? The law of attraction, we attract what we are. We attract who we are. And we may say to ourselves, okay, well, wait a minute now here. Let me think about that. So you mean to tell me that when I got into that relationship with that person, and I know a lot of times we talk about, when I say get in a relationship with that person, we automatically think about the opposite sex, or the person that we're the orientation that we're sexually, I guess, attracted to. That's what it's not orientation, but the sex that we're attracted to. We always think about that. But I'm even talking about platonic relationships. I'm talking about fellowships. I'm talking about acquaintanceships. I'm talking about associates, colleagues, the like. Go down the list. So you mean to tell me that when I had that run-in with that person, or you mean to tell me that when such and such had that I attracted that person to my life? How? That negative Nancy, that negative Nate, how? There was something about us that was attracting and continues to attract those people. So I don't know if you've ever heard somebody who says, I don't know why it is. Why is it that I always seem to get the men who are never available? Or why is it that I never get the person in my life who really cares about me the way I care about them? Or why is it I always get the person that's unavailable emotionally? Why do I get the why? The why does. Why do I get? Why do I have? Why does this happen? It's because it's who we attract. It's because of what we're attracting, what we're putting out there, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. So what happens is, y'all, we may feel that we're a positive person, and that's cool beans. But on the inside, there's somewhere inside of us that something has happened. There's a hiccup in our hookup that's got us unhinged, and we continuously attract people in our lives that are resonating and vibrating on the same frequency as the traumas that are down inside of us. And you may say, well, I ain't never been through a trauma. How do you know? How do you know? See, all traumas don't register in the brain. Everything we go through, we may experience a trauma. That doesn't mean it's a traumatic experience, right? It doesn't mean that we're traumatized. Rather, let's just say that. It doesn't mean that we're traumatized. It could be something, okay, let's say this. Let's say we grew up in a criminogenic environment, an environment that was written with crime. So yes, even though you may be quote unquote used to that because that's what you see day in, day out, that doesn't make it normal. That doesn't mean that somewhere in there that isn't a trauma that now is starting to attach itself to our being, to the fabric of who we are, is being woven into the fabric of who we are and who we're becoming. Unless we're able to find the source, start to undo some of those things. You say, okay, well, how do I find the source, Michelle? How do I find the source? Well, there's multiple ways we can find the source. One, through the number one source. Now, I don't know what that source is for you. My source is God, right? But whatever that source is for you, then, find that source. Find a source. It's like this. It's like a phone. Okay, I don't have my phone next to me. I usually have my phone right next to me. What's this? It's like a phone. If you don't plug it in, what's going to happen? It's going to die. So you got to plug it in. Just like we have to plug ourselves into a source. So that way we can become re-energized. We can be rejuvenated. We can become healed. So we have to plug ourselves into a source. So that's one way, right? So there's multiple ways. Of course, get a coach, get a therapist, counselor, elder, whomever, somebody that can help to provide you with some kind of guidance in your life. Surround yourself with people who love you and care about you. There's multiple ways that we can get back to that source. What we're talking about here, I see some eyeballs popping up here. So we're a little bit more than the half point. And now you guys can go ahead and start putting some questions in the chat if you like. So we can start our rapid fire AMA. So if you have any questions, that's Ask Ms. Clark Anything, not against medical advice and not American Music Awards. AMA is Ask Ms. Clark, right? Anything. So AMA, rapid fire AMA. So go ahead and put your questions in the chat. But here's the deal. So we attract who we are. So that's what I was talking about, you all. So for the eyeballs that just popped on. Welcome to the show. And of course, if you're a repeat supporter, welcome back to Tuesday Talks with Ms. Clark, LMSW at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's how. So something inside of us that we may not be consciously aware of. So again, I was talking about how if you were in a criminogenic environment, even though you may see a lot of gunfires, you may see domestic violence, you may see all these kind of things happening around you, and it may seem like normal because that's how you grew up. That does not make it normal. And it doesn't mean that somewhere in our bodies it's not registering. It is. It's registering somewhere in there and it's radiating outside of us. So no matter when we try to get into normal, which, what is normal, right? But we try to get into relationships healthy, then we may find ourselves having challenges. And again, when I say relationships, I'm talking about in the broader sense. We're having challenges with that. So we have to go back to the basics, the fundamentals. I love talking about the fundamentals. Back to the fundamentals and really taking an inventory of who we are. Who we are. And let me tell you something. We do that with Lift Nation. We do that with Lift Nation. So I want to really quickly, I want to put this up here. So now I know sometimes I have guys and, women and guys that watch the show, but this one is for the ladies only. So for ladies, this Saturday, we are having Lift Nation, Freedom at 1. Let me get this on the screen here. So we're having our Freedom at 1, and that's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Freedom at 1, right? So Freedom at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all you have to do is, it's in the Zoom, right? So you don't have to show up anywhere other than at your computer, your phone, tablet, or whatever, or iPad, whatever. But register. You can register today. And when you register, it will give you the link for Zoom to be able to show up. And we're going to do a mini mindset training. But we're going to have a room full of professional women collaborating. Because remember I talked about, having that network. I started off talking about my sister. For those of you all who chimed in a little bit later, I shared a story about my sister who saved my life when I had 2 strokes. She saved my life. And so if you're looking for a sisterhood, if you're looking for a real sisterhood, that's what we build here. That's what is being built and has been built here at Lift Nation. That's what we do. That's who we are. So we're continuously building out Lift Nation, the sisterhood. So if you're on Facebook, you already know we have a group. We have a community, a private community on Facebook. Well, we're taking this to the Zoom room, y'all. I want us to really be able to lock arms and have this sisterhood. And we're going to have events and things like that. And our first event we're having is a virtual event, Freedom at 1, this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me put the link up there. So here's the link. It's bit.ly, that's ly/Lift Nation, freedom at one, upper and lowercase in there. If you happen to not do the upper and lowercase, I believe it should still allow you to register, because I know some links are a little funny acting, they're very particular, but I believe you should be able to still get through the registration. If not, you can always hit me up on any of the social medias at MicheleDClark Lift, Michelle with one L, Michele, one L. You don't need two, and one does the same. So spell my name with one L. All right, so that's the thing. So being able to surround ourselves with people, this is the first way to do that. If you really are looking for a sisterhood where people are rooting for you to win and not secretly hoping that you lose, in your face, yay, oh yeah, girl, congratulations. I can't stand her. Why she always get everything? Why she all... No, none of that. No backbiting. This is all positive professional women. So if you are that person and you're looking to be around those people, and you want to surround yourself and have a true, for real sisterhood, then you definitely want to meet us this Saturday for Lift Nation Freedom at 1, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all you have to do is go to that link. It is absolutely free. It's absolutely free. So the only thing it's going to cost you is your smile. Because I want to see your smiling faces. So, all right. So that's that. Now, let's see. We have about, what time is it? I believe that says, is that 24? I think it's 24 after. All right. So we have about 6 minutes left. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and we get them answered. If you want a proper shout out, of course, then make sure to put your name and where you are, I was calling in from, and where you are coming in from or viewing from in the chat, and I'll give you a proper shout out as well. Another quick breakfast station identification. I forgot to tell you guys because I have it right here in my lap, but I didn't even take a swig yet. So let's take a break for station identification. That it's time for a water break. Remember to do your body good and stay hydrated. I know a lot of times it's much easier in the summertime because we get overheated, and it's nice to have some nice thirst quenching water during the summertime. But in the wintertime, guess what we have, especially for those of us who have the dry heat, it gets dry, like mouth dry, nose dry. Wake up in the morning like, oh, I can't really talk, right? So make sure you stay hydrated and do your body good, right? Because that's our body is made up mostly of water, so might as well get that water intake in. So make sure to do that. All right, you all. So the bottom line is we have to really tap into what are some of those things that's keeping us from, when I say tapping into, meaning getting down to the bottom of what is keeping us from having that success that we want. And with the success we're talking about today, the freedom we're talking about today is having a sisterhood, or for the guys, if you're watching, brotherhood. And if you're watching us on hashtag replay, please make sure to put hashtag replay in the chat so that I know that you were here. So we have to find out what that is. But in the process, in the process of our quest, seek out healthy relationships, healthy people, things that that bring us joy, that help us to carry on down the pathway of finding what it is that we're looking for. So here's an example. It's almost like at the end of the Yellow Brick Road. No, at the end of the pathway, in the middle of the pathway, we have breadcrumbs. So the breadcrumbs are the things that's going to lead us to that final destination, right? In the midst of our journey, there's going to be some signs, there's going to be some numbers, there's going to be some wonders, there's going to be some things that are telltale signs that's going to let us know that we're heading in the right direction. Conversely, there's also some things, some red flags on the play. People call them flags on the play, right? So there's usually some flags on the play. Let me slide up here. There's some flags on the play that will also let us know when we are not heading in the right direction. Take heed to those things. It's not happenstance. When we see those things, when those things occur, be aware of it. Quick detour, you all. I got about 3 minutes, y'all. So I've been reading The Alchemist. Absolutely wonderful book. Y'all have to get it. I think his name is Paulo Coelho. Okay. I may have butchered his name, but that's my way of pronouncing it. But Paulo, was it Paulo Coelho? Okay. But The Alchemist. So check it out. So the point is, so in The Alchemist, there was a point in there where the main character was in a desert, and there were two hawks that passed, were flying in the sky together, and they made this weird flight pattern and dove. So he saw that as an omen, as a sign, because it was uncharacteristic how they behaved. I told a friend of mine, and I forgot what we were talking about. He mentioned something about a hawk, and I was like, oh, or something about a bird, and I was like, oh, you know what? A bird not too long ago had flown into my window. This was I think this was during the pandemic, and I was like, it was a hawk. A hawk flew into my window, and he says, well, you need to look into what that means, because hawks that's a sign. It's a sign of something. So you need to look into that, because he's really into the elements and things like that. And so I was like, okay. And I looked it up, and I was like, wow, there were some there. Basically, it was saying to take heed. There's something that's happening. There's something that's going on, but take heed. And so I read it a little bit more. And then I remember the alchemist and the omen there. So there are things that happen in our life. I say all that to say this. There are things that happen to our life that we may think that is just nature. Because it was just like, oh, first of all, hawk, really? Okay, y'all, I don't live in a woodsy-like area. I live in a major metropolitan city, right? So it was like, what? But he ran to my window, and it was the weirdest thing. And I remember like it was yesterday. Oh my goodness, when he hit the window, it sounded like a basketball, like somebody like full force threw a basketball into my window. Like, what? And it jarred me. But I didn't think much of it as far as it being a sign. So what that taught me is that even, well, first of all, things, images, people, there's something that's going to happen in our lives that's going to be a sign that's going to try to get our attention. It's going to say, hey, listen, look at this, look at me, woo woo, hey, I'm here. When that happens, it's important for us to take heed to those things, because it's trying to show us something. It's just like what Maya Angelou said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. So when you see something, you may not know what it means, but that just means to be alert, because there may be something else coming down the line that you need to be attentive to. You need to have your awareness up. So that way, when it comes, you don't miss it. You don't miss it. All right. Well, speaking of missing it, y'all, it is 8:30. Can you believe it? It is already 8:30. So I love each and every one of you all to life. And I will see you guys next Tuesday, you ladies, next Tuesday for our Tuesday Talks with Ms. Clark, LMSW, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we go, I want to make sure one more time to put up there that this Saturday we are having Lift Nation's first event of the year, our Freedom at 1, which happens at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. So make sure that you have your beautiful faces in the places, all right? And the place is Zoom, so it's going to be on Zoom. And then all you have to do is go to bit.ly, that's .ly, / oh Lord, that's supposed to be Lift Nation. See, here we go. Lord Jesus, here we go. And I had to let that go the first time. So bit.ly / Lift Nation. Freedom at 1. All right. Thank you all for bearing with me on that. Let's get the right one on the screen now. Okay. So there we go. Lift Nation, not Lift Nation. Listen, you have to keep fun and fundamentals, right? So don't take life, everything is not so serious. So bit.ly / Lift Nation Freedom at 1. So go ahead and go there to register. And I will see you in the Zoom room this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am super excited about the activities that we have planned for you all. So make sure that you have your face in a place. Again, this is for professional women only. So sorry, no men allowed, only for the ladies. So until I see you all again, and hopefully that'll be this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will see you all next Tuesday, where we will have another episode of Tuesday Talks with Ms. Clark, LMSW, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you all to life. In the meantime, take care. My name is MicheleDClark with Lift Nation, where we empower women to live inspired, free, and transform. Take care. God bless.